So we've got client Eliza then, who has been part of our coaching for a year and a half, coming up perhaps even 2 years. I'm not sure of exact dates. She'll help us out with that. And we're going to just take a few minutes, and I'm going to ask her a couple of questions. And she's going to detail things about her experience with us, what she was doing pre us, how things have went for her, and help out some of you who are perhaps in a similar position to where she was. So first of all, tell us a little bit just about you. So, in terms of name, where you're from, kind of what you do.
ElisaDeLuca. I'm a fitness instructor. Worked in the fitness as of teaching classes for probably 6 years in personal training. I'm down in Cork, and at the moment I'm kind of just dabbling in the fitness industry here and there and doing my own bits, but that's my basic background, to be teaching classes and personal training.
Okay, cool. So first thing I want you to tell us about then is give us a bit of a background before you came on board with us. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing, how things were going for you. Tell us a little bit about the situation that you were stuck in and whatnot.
Yeah, so I suppose my kind of the starting point for me was I came off, it was 2016, the December 2016, I came off the contraceptive pill, and I noticed that my weight kind of just started to drop and drop, and I went along with it then as I saw that, so I started reducing calories. So I quickly dropped about 20 pounds very fast. It kind of went in a 4 month period that I dropped that, and I lost my cycle then as a result. So it just dropped so quick that I suppose my health suffered in the long run. I think I shot you a message then at one stage going, I'm stuck, I'm still looking to lose weight, I just want to drop another few pounds. And you asked me what was my calories across the week and what was my calories day to day. So they were fairly low. Like there was days where I was only eating 1200. There was days where I was up to 16. But I eventually lost control of those low calories and started keeping them low Monday to Friday and not tracking at the weekend. And no wonder I wasn't losing anymore, because I could go out on a Saturday night and down 10 points with the girls and then go to Supermax afterwards. And that would continue into Sunday. And it was only lately that I actually went in and I tracked what I was eating on a Sunday, and just my dinner alone was 2000 calories. So what else I had on top of that was, but anyway, I'd lost my cycle. So you had said to me that there was no point in me continuing trying to lose weight, that I was already at a low weight. And I had been following Sarah on Instagram, and I knew she had lost her cycle doing her comp and stuff. So I kind of related to her, and I felt that she would be someone that I would get along with. So that was why I had approached Sarah then. And again, the same situation. I told her that I was looking to lose another couple of pounds, and she explained to me that that was not going to happen, and that I would need to go into a lean gaining phase to regain my cycle.
Let's talk a little bit about the mindset side of things, because this is a really sort of popular thing, or a lot of females caught in the mindset of low calories. Losing weight, dropping body fat is the only way to improve their physique. They're always chasing this sort of endpoint. But tell us a little bit more about where your mindset was at that time, in terms of why you sort of believe that the losing body fat and being aggressive with your diet was the only way to go.
Yeah, well, I suppose I'd been kind of following these Instagram girls that I wanted to look like. And I thought the only way to do it was to bring my calories lower and lower to continue to lose weight. But I didn't see another way out. Every time a calorie surplus was mentioned, that would literally scare me shitless. Because if I got on the scales here and it had gone up, then I was running to the gym because I had done something wrong. So I didn't see another way out. I thought by continuously losing weight and losing weight, I would see what I wanted. But I was never going to see what I wanted because I hadn't built the foundations in the first place. But yeah, mindset wasn't good. It was completely, I was looking at that weighing scales, and if that weighing scales hadn't changed, then I'd skip a meal or I would run to the gym. So like I was exercising 16 to 18 hours a week, and I wasn't seeing anything more. But I would still sit in the gym for maybe 2 hours and keep banging out weights until I got what I wanted. Eventually that wasn't working anymore, so I knew that I had to make a change. And Sarah did explain to me, like, what is 1 or 2 more pounds going to do for you? Like, what are you going to see? And I think that was when I kind of clicked and went, yeah, okay, she's probably right here. So that was kind of then the further push to go, okay, Lisa, you have to make a change here, because what you're doing is unhealthy. Like, you're not going out with your friends, you're prepping every single meal that you eat, you're bringing lunch boxes here, there, everywhere. You're weighing spinach, you're weighing lettuce, you're like just obsessed about that number. Like, I didn't take any other form of progress. I wasn't taking photos, I wasn't taking measurements. It was literally get up in the morning, go stand in front of a mirror. Do you look good? No. Okay, well, go work out. So the mindset was just shit, completely shit.
Yeah, and I remember the first time, because the first time you reached out and spoke to us wasn't the first time that you came on board. There was still another gap in time before you had that further light bulb moment.
Yeah.
Even though I told you, like, you know, what you do and you're banging your head against the wall, what are you actually going to gain from dropping another pound or two? So you're in a place you're doing 16 to 18 hours a week of training, okay? Calories 12 to 1600, super low fat activity levels, body weight stalled, you lost your cycle, etc., etc., missing out on social side of things, running around like an idiot with your Tupperware, wearing your spinach, wearing your lettuce, etc., etc., etc. What was the moment then, you know, where, right, like, shit, I actually need to fix this? And why did you decide, or why did you think then that we were the people that we're going to be able to help you with this?
I suppose it was after I'd initially spoke to Sarah on the phone, when she said, I'll give you a buzz and we'll talk about it. I had explained to her the situation I was in, that my cycle was gone. And the light bulb moment was when she did say to me, but what are you going to see by losing 1 or 2 more pounds? And to sit back and look at that, I realized that I wasn't going to see anything different to what I was seeing now. And if I wanted that physique that I was looking at on Instagram, that I was going to have to work for it. It just wasn't going to come. Um, and the fact that my health was so bad that I was in and out of the doctor's office every week, I had no energy, didn't want to leave the house. I was a completely different person to the girl that I had been 2 years ago. Like, I was even losing sleep at that stage, just because I was obsessed with getting that look. And I knew it was unhealthy. I know eventually that myself and my husband would like to start a family. So if I didn't regain my cycle, that was never going to happen. So it was just that comment that kind of went, shit, you need to do something here, because your health is at risk. And it was. So that was kind of the light bulb pushing moment for me. Now, I thought going into it that I was ready for that change, but I actually wasn't. So that was another side of it, where I spent the first kind of couple of months resisting her in a way.
So tell us a little bit more then. So at this point, you came in, you've made the sort of leap, you've put your sort of trust and faith in us to help you out with all of these things. So tell us a little bit more then about your journey with Sarah in particular, who's been working closely with you. Tell us a little bit more about your journey in terms of what happened whenever you came in to where you are now. Talk a little bit about the mindset side of things. We'll talk about results and progress in a second, but with the mindset side of things coming from that place, thinking that more is better, more training, less calories, you know, that's the only way to go do it. And then we're telling you, like, you actually need to put a few pounds on here, your calorie intake's going to go up. Talk us through that, because I know there's a lot of people and that struggle with this here, that we tell the same thing to, and they're like, he's telling us lies, that's not going to work, they don't know what they're doing. So talk us through you, in terms of, you came in, we were like, right, pretty much going to flip this, more calories, less training, take it from there.
Yeah. Well, I thought I was ready. I really did. And Sarah, I think I started on 2000, and it quickly jumped to 2,200 calories a day. And I remember ringing my sister. I was walking down to the shop. I was eating a Malteser bunny, and I was crying down the phone. And I said, "This cannot be normal." I said, like, I was gone from spinach to Malteser bunny, like. And she said, her comment was to me, you are going to, like, lose your shit here, because you are going to gain weight. So kind of the first few weeks, I was a bit resistant to the calories, and what I would do was, I was very resistant to the calories. I would try to outwork them. So Sarah was giving me 2,200 calories, and I'd go for a walk, or I would add in extra, like there was classes that I didn't join into at work, but now I was starting to join into them at work to burn off the excess calories that she was giving me. So I done that for about, I like, that's my one regret. I wasted 2 to 3 months fighting her because I still didn't want the weighing scales to go up, even though we were in a lean gaining phase. So like I was in the gym, I was getting stronger, but I was still resisting the gaining side of it. And I suppose the change came to the point where one day she said to me, okay, well, we're going to reduce your training further. And I think my calories were at 2,600 at that point. And I was like, oh God. So I messaged her back and I was like, no, we're not going to reduce my training further, because we were coming down to 3 days and I had left my fitness instructor position. So I felt like my activity had gone from 10 to 0. And the big turning point was, well, look, you're paying me to do a job. I can only give you the advice, and if you're not willing to take that advice on board, then this where we left. And that was, I absolutely needed that kick, because if she had just left me do my thing, I would have continued. So that kick then kind of gave me the push. Okay, well, look, you're here, you're paying her, let her do her job, and you go along this journey. And that was the massive change. Then I started seeing, yes, the scales was going up, but so was my strength. I was gaining glute size. I was gaining, my mindset was becoming better. I was happier, I was healthier. So I was like, okay, we're doing this. And then we started setting out a few gym goals. So for me, if I'm doing something, I'm 100% in. There's no kind of up or down. So once the gym goals were set, then I had something to drive towards. And if I felt something was off, I just sent her a message, and she was always there to message back. So I needed that accountability. The accountability was huge for me, because I had to have someone there that I felt would keep me accountable, but also support me in the same way, because I needed both. Then, so kind of, we were 6 months in and I regained my cycle. So that's how long it took in that surplus to regain my cycle. It was month 6. And I continued then for another 2 months, 2.5 months, just to make sure that we were on the safe side with my cycle, and that I wasn't going to lose it again. So we went about 8.5 months with the gaining phase. But in that time, like, my mindset switch was massive. I don't get up in the morning anymore, run to the mirror and go, what do you look like? Because I'm happy in where I am now. So that's just a minor thing now. I don't care what I am on the weighing scales once I'm happy, once I'm healthy. And I love the strength I have in the gym. I would never, ever give that up now. So that's kind of the journey over the 8 months.
Yeah, so that's in terms of the results and the progress side of things. You talked there about the mindset change that you had, relationship with the scales changing. You mentioned you got your cycle back after 6 months of sort of following and doing what we wanted you to do. And in terms of results side of things, then in terms of body weight that you gained, strength that you gained, you're in the group now, pretty much posting every week that you're thrusting 200 kilo and your glutes are growing. Tell us a little bit more then about what has actually happened from the mental side of things, happiness side of things, body confidence side of things, plus how things have changed for you with your strength, your physique, etc., etc.
Okay, yeah. So when I approached Sarah and I started, I was around 61.5 kg. That was in March this year, 2018. So we finished then, I was just hovering over the 66 kg mark when I finished on month 8. So that was kind of the scales journey. Then with the measurement side of stuff, glutes, there wasn't really, like, I didn't get huge, like, which was what I thought. I thought I was going to be, I kept saying to Sarah, all I saw was 10-ton Tessie in a bikini making her way down. Like, I thought I was going to be a beach whale going on
Yeah.
holidays.
See, just on that point, because we have a few people at the moment who are in a similar place, and I'm telling them, like, you're going to go on this journey, and their first thing is, I'm going to get fat. So MS was going to happen. My shape's going to change. I'm going to gain loads of body weight, loads of body fat. I'm going to look like a fucking sausage roll. And that's what they
Yeah.
think is going to happen. Now, you were in a place that you thought the same. You had these thoughts, these dreads of, I'm going to look like a sausage roll in 6 months. So, in terms of you came through, you gained 5-6 kilos. Looking back on that time frame, what happened in terms of from your expectations of what you were going to look like to what actually happened? What was the big
Oh,
difference?
I had sleepless nights. I actually had sleepless nights that I just saw this beach whale in a bikini going on holidays. And I said it to Sarah, I was like, I just see 10-ton Tessie. And like, I saw no other image. I didn't see the physique I built was unbelievable. Like, I looked stronger. And I'm an athletic girl. I like an athletic look. So to me, I was looking stronger. I was seeing more definition, which I wasn't seeing before. I had, like, if you look at my halfway point, I had kind of visual abs. My glutes were gaining stupid size. And even towards the end, I still have that definition. If I put up my start and my finished photo, I have better definition after 8 months than I had at the start. So I in no way got fat. Did I put on a bit of body fat? Yeah, but like it's worth it for what you're building underneath. I think people forget that they haven't built a foundation. They
Tell
have to
me,
go build that foundation.
yeah, tell me this in terms of impact on your life in general. Okay, so going from 16 to 18 hours a week in the gym down to up around 4 to 5 hours a week now. So you've got back 14 hours, 13, 14 hours a week of your life to do other things. You're eating double, if not some days almost treble the calories. What impact does that have? What does that change for you on a day-to-day basis?
It's changed massively. Now there is sides of stuff that I still want to improve on, but what I've gained so far is definitely a lot more flexibility. I'm not avoiding my friends anymore, so if I get a text to go for a coffee or whatever, I will go to that. Whether before it was like, no, I can't go because my Tupperware box isn't ready to go with me, so there's no way that's happening. So definitely social events are there a lot more. I just pre-plan for when they're happening, and I'm a lot happier, more outgoing. Whether before I wasn't leaving my house, so for me, it's opened up a whole new world that I hadn't seen in years. It's allowing me to like go to my family, have a family dinner, which I wouldn't do before. And I don't think people realized how obsessive I was over it. Like, it was to the point where no, everything was a no. So I'm starting to become a bit more open to that. I won't say I'm 100% there, but I'm definitely more open to going to these events. I'm going to the Christmas party, which I didn't go to last year. I have a wedding the week after, which I'm going to that. I'm going to drink. I'm going to enjoy myself. So it's definitely opened a whole new world for me socially. I found that I lost friends when I was dieting because I was avoiding them. So I'm back in contact with all of my old friends and I'm going to meet them, and it's definitely a whole new world once you step away from that. I can't, I've got to go work out, I have to eat my lettuce and my turkey burger, and I can't have anything else. So there's definitely a whole new world out there, but you have to be willing to change. If you're not willing to change, then nobody can do that for you.
Super. That's awesome. That's awesome. Last thing then. So for people, some people in the group come in, they've again been in a position like you. First time you spoke to me, you didn't come on board. You give it another few months. We got people like that who are on the fence and whatnot. Now, for someone who's been in the place on the fence, you sat in the group for a good while before you came on board, etc., etc. What would you say to people who are now in a similar position to where you were, looking at other people, thinking about things, haven't reached out, spoke to us, delaying things before coming on board? What would you say to someone in that, if you were to speak to yourself now, to where you were on the fence thinking X, Y, and Z, spoke to us, didn't come on board, what would you say to someone who's in that kind of position now?
Yeah, like I would say, like, if you're staying in the same situation for 5, 6 months, then you're not willing to make a change. Nothing's going to change for you. So you have to put your trust in someone else. And what I found was I wasn't hearing what I wanted to hear. So I would say to you, Ashley, this is what I want to be. But you weren't telling me what I wanted to hear. So that's what stopped me from signing up. I was waiting for you to say, well, we can do that for you, but you actually never done that. So you weren't trying to sell me something that I couldn't have. So for anyone who's just kind of sitting there going, I want this physique, or I want to do this, then you need to go put your trust in somebody that they know how to do their job. And don't waste another 3-4 months watching every other girl achieve theirs, because you're not hearing what you want to hear. So just make that step sooner, commit to it, and trust the process. Don't waste 3 months like I wasted going, oh no, this isn't right, this isn't right. Trust the process, enjoy the journey. And like the support that yourself or Sarah give people is absolutely massive. So you're not entering a journey on your own, you're entering a journey with someone behind you that's going to support you, that's going to guide you completely in the right direction. And you have someone to reach out to when you're struggling. So it's not a journey that you take on your own. It's definitely 100% supported. So I would say don't waste another minute, because if you're not achieving what you want to achieve, then you're doing something wrong. So
Super. Last thing then, what's on your plans, what's on your card for 2019 with regards to your goals, the physique? What can we
well,
expect
the main goal
here?
at the moment is I want to get my own fitness classes up and running again. So that's the main goal at the moment. Gym wise, I'd love to keep as much strength as I can. So like we smashed the hip thrust, we smashed the squat. I don't have another one of those set yet, because I'm just enjoying living without having a constant goal all of the time. I would love to do a photo shoot maybe in the end of March, but I don't want to do one lean ripped, because I think for me that's a step too far, and I would probably become a little bit obsessive on it again, and I don't want to put my health at risk. So I'm hoping to do maybe a photo shoot the end of March, but with a softer look. So that's kind of my 2019 goal.
Super. Awesome. Thank you for taking the time to chat to us. I know there's going to be a lot of people in the group that relate to you, enjoy seeing your stuff, your content. So keep doing what you're doing, and speak soon.